Oh, wrong camera. Hang on. No, that's not the one either. Nope. There we go. Well, good afternoon, you lovely people. Someone give me a shout in the chat. Let me know that you can see me and hear me okay. Good afternoon, Matt. Okay. All good. We won. Thank you. Welcome, my darling. Michael, Adrian, Lost Souls, Danny, Matt. Who else we got in here? Afternoon, Murph. If you want to come up in a bit, Murph, some of the other guys know I'm expecting a phone call at about 2:30 from my consultant. And hopefully I've also got some guys coming on that I'm going to have a chat with in view of leveling out all this shit that's been going on different channels. I haven't been involved in a lot of it, but to be quite honest, I'm getting fed up of it. Benson, if you're watching and listening, don't fucking bother, mate, because you ain't coming on. I'm not interested in a word you've got to say. And you will be blocked again. So it's entirely up to you. Hi, Box. Good afternoon. Chrissy, good afternoon, mate. I will, before I open the panel, say that I have got only another limited number of spaces on there because I'm a cheapskate and I won't pay for Discord. So I'm going to try and keep some spaces open for the guys that are coming in. If there is anybody else on there in the rank room, due to the subject that we're going to talk about, I will ask somebody to step down if there ain't enough room. So, yeah, we were. There's some brilliant ones you were posting on Facebook today. Remove. Thank you, Holly. I'm sure that idiot just don't understand the English written word. He certainly can't type it, that's for sure. Right, there we go. That should be the StreamYard link going up. There we go. So if anybody wants to jump on, Cheryl M, good afternoon, sweetheart. Don't know how long we're going to keep going today. Obviously, it's going to be a late one tonight with the Revs multi-stream. If he's got a panel, I'm hoping to get in there. Yeah, I think that's going to be quite a funny night, to be honest. But how are we all doing today? I mean, it's a bit damp and miserable here, but Lindsay, Lindsay, yeah, that was right. Matt, good afternoon, mate. Matt Walker, always welcome. I'll let you all say hello to yourselves in there. And just checking my list here. Okay. Anyone I'm missing? Yeah, Heather will be back later. She should be right now, sat in the dentist chair, having a mold taken for her teeth. No real topic, Chrissy. It's just a catch up with the guys, a bit of fun. I'm going to have a chat with a couple of guys in here in a bit. Everything's cool. It's not an issue. Just want to get a few things straightened out and clear the air, basically. But that's not particularly what the stream is about, but that is going to be a part of it. And for those that weren't in straight away, at about between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, I would think I'm going to be taking a phone call. So what I'll do is I'll leave the moderators in charge of the chat. I will totally mute myself on StreamYard, obviously, because it's going to be a personal chat. It's the consultant that informed me a couple of weeks back that my treatment hasn't worked on my blood condition, and I've got to find out what tests I've got to go for and so forth. She's a very nice Chinese lady, Dr. Lee, and she has been looking after me. Well, I don't need to do a check on you, do I?
No. I heard you saying you got the phone call coming in, so I said I'll come in and hold the fort while you're doing it, if needs be. Then when you get onto the other stuff, I'm not interested.
Okay, mate. Yeah, no worries. It's basically been sorted out. I mean, you'll hear all about it if you're watching anyway.
Yeah, I'll listen in. But I mean, it's happening all over the bloody place. I mean, I was on 4 live panels last week in the Philippines, about the Philippines, expats living in the Philippines, and these Aussies are coming on and doing all kinds. You've got cancer in your head. You got this. Just being absolute personal fuckers. But I've just had enough of the YouTube vitriol. You know what I mean?
Well, this one goes back a while. I will say it was basically one person that I just can't stand now. I just don't want anything to do with the guy. Unfortunately, the other 2 channels had him on. I did warn them what was happening, and because he was still there, I actually unsubbed. What the fuck?
Oh, I've got this. It's meant to be a hairlight, but it's like I turned into a purple man.
Right, Nathan, you can fuck off. You're not welcome on here. We don't want you in here. So stop trying. And if you keep doing shit like that, what I'm going to do is report you for spamming, all right? And harassment. So you can fuck right off. No, the 2 guys, I mean, I used to go on their streams there. They were great. Everybody's got issues. I did try to warn them, but I was dismissed. And we had a quick chat last night. So, yes, Matt, it is Nathan. And I don't want to keep the bastard in here. I don't want him anywhere near my channel. I don't want to hear him, see him, talk to him in any way, shape, or form. The only way I want to see you, Benson, is if you turn up on my doorstep and I'll knock you the fuck out. All right? There you go. That's that one sorted.
That's fair enough. As you go, my man.
It is, Matt, but we don't want to bring it into this channel, mate. That's why hopefully Glyn and Budge will pop up in a bit. They've realised now the mistake they've made. Glyn did say last night he shouldn't have ignored my warning that I gave him. I can't say anything. Those of you that know about the other stream when it went off, he shared a private message that I sent to somebody, Nathan this is, but in fairness, I can't say anything about that because I did add on the end of the message that they were welcome to share it out if they wanted. So there's no hassle over that. Good afternoon, Stuart. Sorry, Murph, just trying to say hello to people. And
yeah, no worries.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Well, it's what, 5:30 here in Dubai.
Right, he's gone. You just don't learn, do you? You're a knob. Good afternoon, Lisa. And the thing is, the way he's carrying on, he's going to have nowhere left to go other than arguing and bitching with like-minded people on Discord and shit. So, yeah, okay, Holly, thank you, sweetheart. I'll try and concentrate on what I'm saying. So, yeah, how's you then, Murph?
Been a busy week. I've literally just, the good thing about working out here is I finish at 12 o'clock on a Friday and I don't go back again until Monday. So it's a case just been shit week as it is, you know. You're basically out here, the Arabs just treat you like you're a piece of shit, you know, you're just a piece of meat, you know, and I don't mind because it's all money tax free, so I take the money, you know what I mean? But I'm getting to the point now where I'm thinking about just right. That's it. I've had enough. I'm going to get on a plane and head back to the UK. But then I look at the UK and there's nothing there for me. So then I think, right, okay, I'm going to get back on the plane and I'm going to go to the Philippines. And then I think, all right, I've got the house in the Philippines, but there's nothing there for me. So
mate, there ain't a lot here for us that are already here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know. It's well, you know, it's like you know, I think about things and you know, just simple little things. Like 2 years ago, Prince Charles, before he was king, opened the WEF Davao
Adrian
festival, where he turned around and was talking about the globalist alliance and globalist this and globalist that and the globalist that. That was Prince Charles 2 years ago at the Davao show, and now he's about to be coronated king. Right now, I've got no problem with him being king. I'm ex-British Army. I took the King's Queen shilling. There's got no issue with that at all. But he's WEF and he's a globalist.
Yeah, I actually said that in a video the other day. It's
you know,
he's supposed to be impartial.
He's meant to be for the people.
What his subjects want, he answers to us basically. And
it goes all the way back to Cromwell.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I said it last week. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one person in that family that I would like to see sat there with the metal on his head, and that is Wills. He seems the only one that's level-headed out the bloody lot of them.
No, he's turning woke as well. He's just invited the New Zealand Prime Minister the ex-New Zealand Prime Minister to come in and work with him. Another WEF.
Oh, yeah, but out of what's there...
Give me Princess Anne. Give me Princess Anne. Princess Anne, straight into the job. I'll tell you what, she'd kick ass.
I'd have loved to have seen the old Duke in there because he never mixed his words, did he?
No, he didn't. No.
He said it like it was, mate.
You know? But if I wanted them on it, I'd choose Princess Anne, you know?
Personally, if I was going to choose any of the females for personal reasons, it would be Wills's missus, Kate. I think she's the best looking one out of the lot.
Oh, she's the best looking one, yeah. You know, but I mean, you know, Princess Anne is married to Mike Tyndall, who's the ex-England. She married a commoner, you know what I mean? She didn't go all the oi polloi and her daughter did. You know, it's Sarah Tyndall. But I mean, it's you know, but I mean, Princess Anne has always been straight as a die, and you've never heard any bollocks about her or anything like that. She just got on with it and got her job done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, William is a clever operator. He's worked. He knows what he's doing. And he knows what he's about. But I mean, as soon as I saw him invite that that New Zealand Prime Minister into his corporate group the other day. I went, for crying out loud. Yeah.
Well, they've even who is it? One of them has got old Sugar, the ex-Prime Minister from over there, involved in some crap over here now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. William, that's William. Yeah.
It was William, was it?
Yeah. He invited her into his foundation.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the monarchy are a waste of space in this modern world.
Well, I mean, it's getting to the point where, you know, this globalism is going to really take a hold, and you know, it's infiltrated everything into the civil service, into the court system, into the prison system, everywhere you go. So
Yeah.
it's going to take a decade for it to get out, and unfortunately, you're gonna have Labour come in, and they're going to just open the doors to unfettered immigration. So it's going to be, you know, the floodgates will open on that side of it. So I mean, realistically, I mean, there is. It's time now to start battening down the hatches, and if you've got children and grandchildren, it's time to start thinking about, right, how are we going to protect them in the future? You know what I mean?
But that was my point. I mean, I've had my life. I've led a hell of a life, and I've had a lot of fun. I've had high spots, low spots, but I've had a lot of fun through my years. And now, with me illnesses and that being stuck in, you know, the life's changed.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I'll be 57 in July. Well, I've still got one last hurrah in me.
Hello.
I might not win. I might not win, but I know I've been in a fight.
Excuse the look, because I haven't done my hair for going.
Oh, you still look gorgeous. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Do you like my hairstyle? Yeah, I groomed it this week. Yeah, I went out. I went specially to town. I put some styling gel in, did that, did this. You know.
Yes, I was in town the other day, and I was walking past. I'll get my hair cut, and like the town I'm living in at the moment. I'm not down in Carrot. I'm sitting with my mum, just looking after my mum. There's just like barber shops everywhere. There's more. It's just barber shops and coffee shops. And a gent's haircut, £14.
I use the pet clippers I've got upstairs that I've had for 15 years.
Yeah, right. Well, I've got clippers down the caravan, but obviously I haven't been back to the caravan because of this and done that and this and that, done this and doing this and doing that. I ain't got back down there. So I've got clippers down there, but I just forgot to bring them up with me. Yeah. That's what I normally do. Number two, job done. Anyway, apart from talking about haircuts,
yeah, is Budge going to drop in later, Glenn?
I'm not sure. I spoke to Budge earlier today, probably about an hour ago, and he was going to go out for a walk. He's got his two little ones. Obviously, they're off. They're not back to school till.
That's right. It's half term, isn't it, or Easter? Yeah.
He'll probably be out on the purple turkey hunt.
I'll say he's not cat wrestling then.
Yeah, no rest for the wicked, eh?
Yeah, right.
How is everyone? It's nice to see everyone. It's nice to say hello to everyone.
Yeah, good to see you, Glenn.
It's nice to see you back in here, mate. You know,
it's been a bit of turmoil over the last.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to be the bigger man from the start because I could see what was happening. I sent me warning about it, and it was still there. So rather than just get involved, I just, right, I'm out of here, unsubbed, I'm gone. And that's the way I deal with that. If I'm not there, I can't get accused of anything.
That's correct. That's correct. And that's what I done. Because once it all started flying around between different servers, different live streams, different social media platforms, it got to the stage where I was like, for fuck's sake, I'm running a community channel. Okay,
Chrissy, thank you, mate. We'll catch you later, buddy.
Chrissy Moore. So we're going to have a chat one day because I do watch all your videos, and we'll have to have when you do a live. Yeah. I'm subbed, so it'll come up with my notifications. Well, sometimes you know what YouTube's like for notifications these days.
I don't. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll have a chat, Chrissy. It'd be great. I'd love to have a chat with you. It'd be brilliant. But there's so much been flying around. I don't like this person. I don't like that person. If this person comes on your channel, I'm not coming on your channel. This, that, this, that, this. And I was just thinking, hang on a minute, I'm running a community YouTube channel where everybody can come on and just say, hi, how you doing? Let's
I
have
mean, you know, they keep. I mean,
let's
you
have
did it
let's have a
yourself.
cheeky one in the afternoon.
You did it yourself. You know, I got accused of watching and trolling and shit like this. Now, right from the start, when I left, I made a point of saying, and I did reiterate that to you in the message,
You did.
that yes, it's a public live stream. Anybody can watch.
Yep. Cheers, Chris.
And I'll tell you now, I do not have the facilities or the know-how to record a stream or record parts of a stream. And it was only last week, I think it was, I actually learnt to do a screenshot. So none of that was being put about was from me. The only Discord server I've ever been on is Dan's, perhaps. I have never been on any other server. The only reason I went on Mark Kelly's stream, who I believe literally runs his streams for the drama. That's where he gets his.
Well, that's Roger. That's what I've come down to over the last month or so, maybe longer. When Mark Kelly's
Afternoon,
done a live.
Jason.
Lost Souls.
Yeah. It's
that's all
you know, and that's why I don't go on those streams. The only reason I went to Mark Kelly's that night was one, to tell Benson to just do one. Yeah, I don't want that.
I've been on, not been on. I've looked. You know, I've just clicked the YouTube link. I haven't clicked the link to go live. Not live, on panel. I've just watched it, and it's absolute total mayhem.
Yeah,
it's mayhem.
And I literally went in, said my piece, and left.
Yeah, and that's what I've always said, and that's what I've said to the troublemakers that come on my channel. You know, there are streams out there. If you want to create that sort of ambience, whatever you call it, go on them streams. Don't come on mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, and I'm going to say his name because I don't really care anymore because I've got no interest in him whatsoever after the last 4 nights. Benson is just out to cause fucking aggro between channels.
And that there are 1 or 2 others that jumped on to back him and sort of try and fight in his corner. Now, at the moment, none of those are blocked from my channels because, unfortunately, a few of them were my friends, or I thought they were. Now, as I say, I have watched your streams in the background. I've never denied that. I've always admitted that. But some of the things they were saying, it didn't trigger me. I'm one of these that usually I just let things go over my head. You know, if people want to talk behind my back, that's why they're behind me. Because I will not talk to them in the front.
But, I mean,
it's sad that he dragged a few other people into that line of thought with him. You know?
Yeah, but like going back months now. I mean, you know, way back to January, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, well, definitely, maybe before Christmas. You know, we said to him, you know, just calm it down, keep calm, don't worry about what people say, this and that, and then. But lately, it's just been coming on. I mean, like last night, he was calling me. I've got to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, you enjoy a drink.
In the mirror?
You enjoy a drink. I mean, it's a different time of day there. Murph sat there with a pint. He's happy having a drink. I used to drink. I was a big drinker.
In the evening here.
I always have a glass of wine at 2:30 in the afternoon. I chill out.
I used to be a big drinker till about 10 years ago, and I haven't touched any alcohol since. I'm not against it. I'm against drink driving, but
I won't drive if I've had it like now. I mean, I went out done the shopping this morning. Now I'm having a couple of glasses. Or
Well, I've had a simple rule from when I joined the army at 16: is you don't drink while you're working. So during the week, I don't drink at all. And this is my first point now for the weekend. So I'll open the bar at 5 o'clock on a Friday night, and I'll close it again at 12 o'clock on a Sunday. And I then don't touch another drink during the week, you know?
Yeah.
Well, my biggest problem, because I was always working in pubs and clubs on the doors and that.
Yeah, different.
Especially in Cornwall, drinking was part of the culture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What?
You know?
Hello, Paps. You able to jump up on the stream, Pat? He probably can't hear me. He's in fucking.
Yeah, if I'm in the way, just tell me to bugger off, Roger. Okay.
Yeah, no worries at the minute, mate.
Technical
what's
issues.
this? You need to do something to your Universal Credit. Sign in to check your account online today. Fuck off! It's Friday.
Fuck off. Yeah, I'll get that. That's a Monday job, and not the fucking weekend night. So I'm checking in my like Universal Credit.
They're probably going to ask me for another sick note, but
I actually think the only thing that was universal there was everyone turning around and saying, fuck off.
Fuck off. Universal Credit, yeah, fuck off.
Hang on.
The last 4 nights he's been, like on Budge's last night, Budge kicked him and then he come back under, he was timed out, then he come back and started again, then he was kicked, timed out again, then another moderator booted him. Then he come back under a different username and started again. So that was booted. And this is not on my server. This was on Budge's. And then
so far today, I've had messages from him. I've had emails. He's tried to get on here twice. And he just don't understand the fact that I just don't want sod all to do with him.
Same with Pat.
Neutrality. We tried with him for months and months before he even came on your stream, mate.
Yeah, and we've tried for months and months. Yeah, thank you, Danny.
You know, if people don't want to accept help, and they're not going to.
And the thing I'm really sad about, what's up, and it's actually upset me to the point it's like upset me, is that it's actually put channels against each other's channels.
And that's what these people do, mate.
And it has.
Why I don't allow them on my stream.
It's put people against people. There's rumours being spread. There's this being said. Yeah. Channels are like, I'm not coming on yours if he's on there, or if you come on mine because you have me on there, I'm kicking you off, and this and that, this and that, this and that. And the channels where we should all be like a big community, all having a laugh and a joke, it turned into a battlefield. And like, I think you might remember, and I think Lost Souls will remember this, when I had that meltdown that night because it all spilled onto my Discord server.
Yeah,
not their own. There was a fucking great row went on my Discord server, and I told them all just basically fuck off of my server, take it to your own servers. Not that I use Discord.
I will hand on heart say that is where you and Budge went wrong, because you created space for them to go and do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's all well and good saying, look, yeah, if you want to argue, go on Discord, but that's still part of your channel, your setup and that. You know, that's why I do Paps. That's it. That's the only Discord I ever got.
Yeah, and the thing is, I miss certain people coming on my channel in the evening when I'm doing a live. Yeah. And that is Lost Souls, Mr. Austin, Danny Austin, who really helped me out last year over Christmas when I was sort of like pretty much.
Yes, Jason, correct, mate.
Yeah, I was pretty much desperate. I mean, I was at the desperation stage where I was like, "What the fuck am I going to do?" And Danny helped me out, and I will mention his name, Benson. I don't give a fuck anymore because I used to say that person. I don't give a fuck anymore because after his performance the last 4 days on my server, or my live, and sorry, I'm leaning with my head on my hand, so I've got an achy back, and if I sit up, it really hurts. So I have to lean forward like that, and it takes the pain out. Sorry, where was I? I've just totally distracted myself. And
Benson,
Benson, and we basically took him under our wing, and we've private chatted with him, you know, saying, "Not Nathan, just ignore it, calm down." Come on.
I'm not sure if I'm right in saying.
On Mark Austin's so and so, I'm fucking gonna go out and do them and all. We tried and we tried.
Guys, I've got to block myself because I'm on the.
Just you and me now, Glenn.
Just me and you. Oh God.
Yeah. He's got to take a phone call from his consultant.
Yeah, he's got to take it from his consultant.
Yeah. I must admit, I'm happy enough that I haven't been involved in all of this, you know. And it makes me wonder why you get these people on your channel. We're not far right. We're not hooligans. We don't turn around and start effing and blinding and doing this and doing that and you know, and doing things. We make observations on what we see in front of us.
Yeah, all we are. We're just everyday normal people.
Yeah.
If I wanted a channel where when I went live, because I mean I go live 3-4 times a week, if not more. You know, because me and Budge, we swap the nights. I'll do one night, Budge will do the next.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The next, because we enjoy it. We enjoy having the people on the panel. We enjoy chatting. You know, the side chat. We have a laugh. We have a joke. We don't have a set subject. We just have a bloody good laugh.
Yeah.
And there's one, and I've sussed it over a few months, and a few people told me that I'm wrong. Excuse me, I'm going to burp.
Go on, get it out. Better out than in.
Better out than him.
Yeah.
And there's a few people said, "Oh yeah, this, that." And I've come to the conclusion, and it's taken me a while, and I've thought about it, and then I've gone, "No, we'll be all right tomorrow." This and that. All right, yeah, I get the attempted porn bombs, which we all get, and I can deal with them directly, no problem whatsoever. But hang on, I'll fag up. Got to stop smoking now.
Well, it's a bit late now, mate. I'll be 57 this year. I'll be 57 this year, and I just said, "Nah, I'm not. Can't be asked. I'm still smoking."
But it's been going on for months now, and you know, I'm glad Roger's done his live where I can actually sort of like talk to people that I haven't talked to for a while.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a bit weird that these young lads are coming in and they're just creating merry mayhem. And I mean, I see the patterns because I'm in Thailand groups, I'm in Philippines groups and everything, and I do see the patterns in there, and I see exactly what's happening in other groups as well. You know, where there are just these young lads are just complete shit stirrers, and they just want to stir the shit. Yeah. You know, that's their only motive, and to them, that's their new game. You know, oh, come on, let's get in here and let's talk you know.
But last night on Budge's stream, obviously I was on panel, and Mr. Benson kicked off on there, and he was timed out, he was chucked off, he come back with different aliases. And the next thing he was telling, I didn't say nothing. You know, I just said, "Oh well, you think it's chatting away."
But I mean, you know, if you look at the amount of effort, they're going into to just come in and give vitriol, just come in and shout their mouth off, and I don't know whether they're trying to prove themselves to, you know, just sound, you know, as we were growing up, you know, that mouthy little kid. He was always there to try and impress the girls and do this and do that and do that. We'd all just look at him and go, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" You know, if you just turn around and shut your mouth and became civil, you'd have a girlfriend. You know, this is why we've all got girlfriends, and you're still the one mouthing your mouth off, and you're on your own. Yeah, you know. And it just seems like it's that sort of thing going again. It goes around in circles. You know what I mean? They obviously they're far more computer savvy than us. Yeah. Far more computer savvy than us. And so, like you say, he can just go back in, change his name, create a new YouTube channel, bang, off he goes again, create a new email address, and you know, that does what he does.
And that's what was happening last night. He come up under 3 different aliases.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
the next thing he was like in the side chat typing, Glyn, you need to look in the mirror. Well, I'm looking into a camera so I can see myself and my big spot on the side of my face here. And I was thinking, what was, I just said, Nathan, I don't understand what you're on about. Explain yourself.
Well, no, I mean, someone says to me, look in the mirror.
I mean, I run a very small.
Someone says to me, I look in the mirror. I go, yeah, I look in the mirror. I mean, a lot of people can't look themselves in the mirror. A lot of people are so ashamed that they're so ashamed of themselves they can't look themselves in the mirror. When I look in the mirror,
I said to him last night, I said, Nathan, I said, explain yourself. What do you mean I need to look in the mirror? And he couldn't explain it. He just kept going on this. And then the next week he come back and he typed in the side chat, he went, Glyn, you're a narcissist.
Well, obviously we're on camera. Of course we're narcissists. If you're on camera, you're a narcissist.
So I just said to him in the, over the live stream, I said, the best thing you could do tomorrow is get on your bike, cycle down the local library, get a copy of the Oxford English Dictionary, look up narcissist and see what it actually means.
Yeah. I mean, look, anyone who puts themselves on a live stream or goes on and turns the camera on there's a smidgen of narcissism in there.
Yeah, there is, because we all got difference of opinions and like with mine and Budge's channels, we run them as a community channel. We don't want the grief, we don't want the aggro, we don't want the arguments in the side chat. I'm in a couple of Discord groups, and I do a debate every week in the Discord group. So I'll put up something that is totally against what my beliefs are, and I'll put it up, and then I allow people to come in, and then I will defend that. Great, but we don't turn around and swear at each other. We don't turn around and insult each other. I just defend the argument that I'm putting forward. And every week now, I get in that Discord. Oh, John? What are you going to do this week? You know, what are you going to do this week? And it's I'll be on this week, and I just think about it. You know, it's last week it was I want my rib back. So I turned around and there's a whole pile of women there, and I said I want my rib back, and they went, "What do you mean?" I said, "That's the argument." I said, "Basically, you women we had to give a rib to create women." And I said, you turn around and you cause us nothing but pain and grief for all our lives. I said, I want my rib back. You've got one more rib than me. I want my rib back because that's what we gave one rib to create you. So, of course, that was the debate. And bang, 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 bang. My dear, the women haven't talked to me all week.
If you listen to them nowadays, every body part's interchangeable.
Female, whatever.
Well, I was going on. I said, look, one of the things I was arguing about. I said, look, we can easily verify whether you're a man or a woman. I said, a simple X-ray will guarantee it, because we have one less rib than a man. We have one less rib than a woman. You know?
Show me the ovaries.
Yeah, can I have an ovary? Go down to the doctors. What's the problem? I'd like to. It's no problem.
Well, that was an interesting call.
This size. How many would you like? 1, 2, quadruple? The choice these days.
Apparently, I've got to go in and give another bag of blood.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'll big joy.
And they're going to make an appointment for me at the Queen Elizabeth, which is the big one in Birmingham, where I've got to undergo what they call a MAS test, MAS, which is basically they inject something through me intravenously, at the same time monitoring my red blood cell count. And good afternoon, John. And what the problem is my red blood cells are what they call too fat. My body's producing too many red blood cells.
Right.
This is only my blood issues, not the fatigue and everything connected to the strokes.
But I thought they had ways of counteracting that now. I thought they had ways of turning around and getting the white blood cells up. And I thought they were using, I forgot, I saw something on it the other week.
Yeah, it's plasma infusion or something it's called.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I did see something on it. Yeah.
That's what that was the treatment I was getting back before Christmas, and it's failed.
Right.
and that's why they were draining a pint of blood out of me a week, literally to keep the blood cell. That was the way of keeping it down until they sorted something else out.
Okay.
It's polycythemia, which if you add a vera to the end of that, it can be a form of cancer. Although they did tell me that mine isn't cancerous, which was something that was really playing on my mind, because we do have a history of cancer in the male side of our family. I lost my own father to it. I've lost several uncles to it. And I think it's 1 or 2 cousins as well.
Well, I mean, if I can look at my mother, she's had every cancer that you could possibly get. She had an ovarian cyst. She's got skin cancer. She's got this. She's got that. She's got that. She's on about 16 tablets a day. She's 87 years of age, and she'd still buy and sell any of us.
Yeah.
It's
just something that's hit now. I'm absolutely convinced that most of my problems stem from the way I lived my life in the past. I used to do drugs.
I think it is. I think it's the wilder childhood or younger years you had, it catches up with you.
Mine carried on into my 50s, mate.
I'm the same. You get to like me. I'm 54 now, and I go out to do things like I used to do when I was 24. And then, like halfway through the activity, I realised, fucking hell.
Well, up until when was it? Last March, I had the stroke.
Up
until February last year, I was still throwing myself down mountains on a mountain bike at 40 miles an hour.
Right, I was out over the estuaries.
I
was out over the estuaries, lugging through the mud with my folk, digging up bits and pieces, and I was like, getting to the stage like, tired now.
It's to me, it's just payment for the enjoyment I've had over the last 60 years.
Well, that's been my life. I can't say it's been boring. If anything, it's been bloody eventful.
Matt, sorry, guys, just answering a few questions in the chat.
Sorry.
Matt, I started drinking around the age of 14 when I found I could get in pubs because I used to play darts, and I actually stopped drinking about 10 years ago.
Can I answer that one? I started drinking at the age of 10 because I grew up in the pub trade, and I lost my virginity in the toilets at 11.
You naughty man!
And then with a nice 40-year-old girl who I walked back in my army cadet uniform one day, the parachute regiment 144 Mitcham Barracks, and walked in my uniform, and she just grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and dragged me into the bloody toilet. So I was a 6 foot of mine. I don't think she realised I was 6 foot tall. So.
I did have an experience like that in Liverpool many years ago. I was at the Grand National, and we've just been up there for the whole weekend meeting. But we've been out in Liverpool, been out for something to eat, really nice meal, gone to a few pubs, and we were just walking around Liverpool city centre, and I literally got this girl just dragged me up this alleyway in the pissing hard rain, and it was like, I'm not going to go into details.
A county trophy taken off of me for darts.
Fucking hell, I'm moving to Liverpool.
I had a trophy taken off of me years ago. I think I was about 15 because I won the county darts championship, and then they realised that I was underage.
Yeah.
So they took the trophy off me.
No, I mean, the 10-year-old, when I was 10, I started drinking, and I stopped drinking immediately then because what I did, I had a schoolmate over from school, and we went along the optics of the bar as a bet, and we took the one of everything into a pint glass.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And then we both had two pint glasses of one of everything in the glass. Both drank it. I got as pissed as a fiddler's rat, and I left home. And Richard went up to wake up my mum and my stepdad, and he went, John's drunk and he's gone to Ireland.
Well, put it this way. We landed the boat in Ireland one day to land the catch. And I said, oh, I'm going to stay a day or so. I'll catch the ferry back. You guys carry on back because I got relatives over there. And I can't even remember getting back. But apparently the only thing I brought back with me was a frying pan because it was bigger than the one I had at home. I can't even remember getting across to Holyhead. I can't remember travelling back down the country from Holyhead.
Me and alcohol. Some of the stories I know I'm not going to tell them to take all bloody. They'll be at the midnight. But oh my good God, some of the places I woke up and I woke up in the morning like, where the fuck?
Oh God, yeah.
What happened last night? But the trouble
I
was,
don't remember going to bed with her last night. What's she doing in my bed? Yeah. Oh, it's her bed. Okay.
It was like Monday. It was bar billiards down the pub, bar billiards league. So you used to go to the pub to play bar billiards after work, and used to have a few pints. Tuesday was quiz night down the pub, so you went for the quiz, so you got a few pints. Wednesday was Maidstone Town Centre Darts League, whether we was home or away, but you had a few pints. Thursday was Shepherd Neame Brewery Darts League, so you had a few pints. Friday, well, that was the end of the working week, and the weekend was there, and the lads were out. So Friday night, you was on the steam night clubbing. Saturday lunchtime, we always used to get to the pub Saturday lunchtime because the horse racing was on, so we'd all sit there with a few pints and filling our bet slips out and running down the bookies and putting them on, having a laugh. Then it was Saturday night, but then that was just
yeah.
I mean,
this is one of the things I used to do on this stream because I mean, even Heather now. I had so many stories from my past, especially down in Cornwall. When we first met, I used to tell her some of these stories and, you're taking the piss, you're having a laugh. And then when I took her down there for the first time ever to meet me mates and that I knew, they all took her to one side. And they were chatting to her for hours. I mean, we didn't have to pay for a drink over the whole weekend. Every time we went somewhere, turned around, someone was putting a drink in front of us. And she came back after the weekend and we were chatting on the way back in the car. And she said, all them stories that you told me. I said, yeah. She said, they're true, aren't they? I said, well, what makes you think that? She said, because your mates told me exactly the bloody same, even down to the women you were seeing.
You know? I mean, it's literally, I tell the youngsters these days some of the stuff I got up to when I was younger, and they go, no, you're really bullshit. You're bullshit.
I know.
It's like, well, no, I'm not. Look, it's the proof. Speak to this person if you want to.
It's like I like my ex-partner last year. I was talking to her 17-year-old son, like when I was his age. He was out doing this, doing it. And he was like, you might as well talk to the dog because you'd have got more interest out of the dog sitting there.
Yeah.
He's like,
and unfortunately, it's a shame that there weren't mobile phones with cameras on about back then because I'd have all this on film,
Oh yeah.
The thing is, I mean, if you didn't have it, someone else would have it. Nowadays, someone else would have it because
Yeah. What did you do last weekend? I'll go and see so-and-so on YouTube. He's got the films.
But imagine if we was in the same mindset now when we were 17 and 18 going to the pubs and nightclubs. And it was like everybody had mobile phones and different stuff like that.
We've been so much shit.
The only way I had a mobile phone back then was when I used to rip them out of the phone boxes.
Really? No, I was a yuppie in the 80s. I was one of the first ones with the brick of a phone.
Yeah.
The the NEC phone.
NEC and Philips, wasn't it?
Yeah, NEC and Philips. I had the NEC. The NEC
You might get a 3-minute phone call before your battery goes
yeah,
flat.
But because I was one of the first people with it, I carried this brick around with me around the City of London. Look at me, yeah, man.
It was like a status symbol of the new iPhone nowadays.
Yeah, I had a Nokia 1121. I think when there was that mobile phone company called People's Phone come out. So I paid hundreds of pounds for this phone, and it had 24 hours standby and 50 minutes talk time. You had to recharge it.
Yeah.
So when you've got this mobile phone, like a brick in your pocket. So you think, I'm going to make a phone call. I'll phone him later. And it wasn't just that, it was the cost of it as well. And then you're chatting away on the phone, it go bleep, 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 and the battery's flat.
Yeah. Well, when Mercury came out with their clamshell, you know what I mean? Remember the clamshell with the little plastic antenna?
Yeah, flip phone, yeah. It used to take about 6 hours to charge the bastard thing.
Yeah.
Pull the aerial up as well. Your phone rang.
One of them.
Your phone up, pull the aerial up.
Yeah.
I got 3 of those. And the 710, the Nokia.
Oh, God, those are the days.
I mean, my first ever proper mobile, as what we know as a mobile today, was a Dan call with the old pull-out aerial.
Yeah, that's right.
There was only one mobile shop in Newquay. And everybody went there. We all got phones. We all got hooked up. And I kept thinking, I've had this thing 6 months now, and I ain't even had a bill. So, and then all of a sudden, the phone went dead. So I inquired about this, and apparently it was a dodgy shop who was selling stolen phones, getting them connected. And he was putting all false details through. But yeah, and then I went, okay, right, yeah, let's go and get a legit one because I use it for work.
Yeah, but I mean, if you bear in mind, when mobile phones first came out, they were for business.
Yeah.
They weren't to ring the wife. They weren't to do anything else like that. We needed them for work, you know. And then look at what we've got now. Now we're talking to each other around the world.
You're out.
Well, that's where I'm said. I'm lucky with these because at the moment I can upgrade me Vodafone package. But this is a 10-year-old phone. It still works perfectly. It's got the original battery in it, but it isn't upgraded, which I should do to 4G, which you can do at the press of a button. But I'm not going to upgrade them literally because they're running now on 2G because Vodafone have upgraded. But
Gotcha.
That also means I won't get these silly alerts because they're only coming out on 4 and 5G.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What, the 23rd?
I've got the other one as well, which is exactly the same, and that one's on a pay-as-you-go gift app.
Well, I mean, anyone who's excited about the 23rd, I wouldn't be, because all it does is when you accept that app, it means that they can track your phone. It's called the Pegasus program. It was originally invented by Mossad, and it's a case that my phone is infected because anyone who in the UAE. They bought the Pegasus program, and it is a case that what they want you to do is once you acknowledge what you're acknowledging, you're putting malware on your phone.
Yeah, that to me, the reason they're doing it is they want to see how many people will react and how many people will accept it.
This is another look. The lockdown, when the original lockdown came about, that was to see how much of the herd we could get locked up. And it was pretty damn successful.
Yep.
Pretty damn successful. They succeeded in shutting down. Now, look at the laws that they put in while you were all locked away at home for 2 years. Look at the laws they put in, the privacy law, you now cannot officially protest. You're classed as a domestic terrorist if you protest in the UK now. There's another law they've just brought in. They're slowly bringing in the law. These TFL cameras or TESAL cameras that the little man in London is doing. That's part of a major program to charge you by the mile.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
it is.
You know?
I just need to bring something to your attention. You got someone called Danny Dyer in the chat.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Danny
know
Dyer.
that. Ollie's already is.
He's got a lovely daughter.
You know who that is.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
leave it at that.
Benson.
Yeah, you got it.
As you
Yeah.
know, Glyn, Holly is one of the best mods in the business, mate. She sees through everything.
I know. Hollybot. We can't. Hollybot. I'm going to welcome everyone back to my channel. I've had a few issues over the last few months, and this and that, but I will be sorting my channel out so everybody can be welcome back. Come on.
I mean, I won't say I'll be on every night like I was.
Let's get over this. We know who's caused the problems, but it's taken months to suss it.
We've opened your eyes to it, and now you've seen we were right in what we were saying.
Yeah.
And I know I got to admit that probably took a big chunk of you to actually admit that last night on Budge's stream.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
you've made a mistake. You've paid for it. And now you realise you were new to YouTube, and
I actually admire the person who is capable of changing their mind.
Yeah.
Well, the only one who just turns around and goes, "No, it is this, it's that," and just stays in the focus and stays in it without listening to rational argument, without actually listening to what people are saying and having the proof and the evidence in front of them, and then saying, "No, I'm still doing it." I mean, Alex Belfield has still got shitloads of subscribers.
he's still getting money. They're still donating to the clan.
I know. And that's people like that you can't help.
No, and you've got the sad ones that tagged on to that, and they're literally using his name to gain views, gain figures on YouTube.
Even to this day.
Yep, they still go up on there. There's one, I won't name it, but they come on, and 9 times out of 10, they'll mention Belfield in the title. So, of course, everybody think, oh, right, yeah, let's go in there and have a look.
Yeah, the algorithm. Oh, hang on.
Yeah. Well, I don't do that, see.
We've got a problem with my cable.
Titles, I've proved it. I did an experiment, was it back just after Christmas, I think it was. I put a video out with a title that was designed to grab people's attention.
Yep.
That title was nothing to do with the content of the video.
Well, I did
one of my biggest grossing videos at that time.
Well, I did an experiment, and I said the Alex Belfield helpline, and I was recommending channels like yourself, recommending MC Trevor Cook MC, recommending Absolutely Average, just all the and if they wanted a bit of drama, then go on Angry Bootnik, you know what I mean?
I'll just answer some in the chat there, guys. Lisa, yes, I do agree with you totally there. Nathan is only half the problem, but it's the people that jumped in behind him. Nathan on his own, we put up with him, and the biggest one on there, and I will say his name, but I'll tell you why afterwards, is Upton. Now, I used to call Upton the lovable troll. Yes, he's an absolute prick, but he's handleable. We can handle him. We did invite him, or Dan did, one night onto the panel, which, in fairness, he popped up. And literally, he just sat there. Didn't say a word. We said, look, Richard, you're a troublemaker. And he said, yeah, I know I am. That's what I do. And that is literally all you'll get out of him if you bring him up on the stream. But he's manageable. You block him. He's not vicious with it or anything like that. He's just a sad kid, really, that some people
I know, but it does have a larger problem. It does create a larger problem. We've had a number of young girls commit suicide over the last few years where they've been attacked and trolled and done by kids at school. And it's becoming a new phenomenon.
Good afternoon, Dan. Sorry, guys, Pap's in the chat.
Right.
If you can jump up on your phone, feel free, buddy.
You know, but there's been it's becoming. I mean, they come to us and we look at it rationally and go, "Oh, look, you're just a dick." You know, we'll push you away. But if you've got a 14-year-old girl who's getting this kind of trolling and getting that kind of abuse thrown at them every day, you can well understand why they decide to hang themselves off the bloody tree down the garden. You know what I mean? It's not
Glenn
good.
had a problem. I think it was last week, where there was a young person coming into the chat.
That's right.
Yeah.
And once they realised this person was only 14,
Yeah.
They put them down very nicely. So you shouldn't be in here. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, we picked up on it. We picked up on it really quick, and it was dealt with, and they were deleted and blocked.
I mean,
Yes,
look, I mean, we don't put it out as 18. We don't put it out as an adult program. But I mean, if you look at us, you realise there's going to be adult content. So why would a 14-year-old be interested in what we've got to say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want people that age in there because you don't want to be restrained because I better not say something in case that person gets offended. You know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't have any moderators on my side, and I just go live every weekend, and I just chat. You know.
Well, you have to send us a link to your channel so I can subscribe to it, and then
there's a link in the description under every single one of my videos, Glenn.
All right,
Paras in the Philippines.
Paras in the Philippines.
Well, that'd be great because I can add to that channel. It'd be great to jump in one day.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. And like I say, I'm not some kind of firebrand. Yes, I do have different views. Yes, I do.
Not we all.
Yep.
And a wicked satirical sense of humour.
Yes. Yeah. I do take the piss. Well, I do take the piss, but very quietly. You know.
You've got to understand the situation and what he's talking about to understand the sarcasm and the humour in his videos.
It's like one of my videos is pretty for Prime Minister.
Yeah. Oh, that was one of your first ones.
Really?
Yeah. That was
all of the reasons. I gave all of the reasons why she was perfect for Prime Minister.
Yeah, I remember that one.
No, I'll find the link and I'll subscribe to it. And when you're doing a live, I'll jump.
And anybody that I trust as a channel, Glenn, I always put a permanent link in the description. There's a big list of them in there. Mm-hmm. I did remove yours and Budgie's, obviously, because I left the channel, but I will put those back in for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I shall go through my YouTube channel studio and I shall now unblock and reinstate people.
The first time Murph ever popped up on my channel, I've got to have this guy in the list. We just hit it off right from the word go, didn't we, mate?
Oh, without a doubt.
Hollybot's put it in. 1 second. Let me hang on. I can grab it now. 1 second. Let me just grab it.
It was the first time I said, "Right, you need to sort out your audio, my man, because you're whistling in the wind." He went, "It's my fucking teeth. Shut up, you."
Right, I'm just trying to get Pap up. I'm just making sure.
I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is. There he is. How are you, my man?
At the moment, still trying to load.
Right, got it. Murph, I'm in the wrong screen. Hang on. Oh shit! What am I? Am I in the wrong screen?
Your audio.
Hear me, Rog?
Just subscribe.
Yeah, can I hear you? You're good.
Audio. Hang on, guys. Your audio's skipping a bit there, Dan.
I think it's to do with the
Rev shit Wi-Fi.
Rev's got shit Wi-Fi.
No, that was brilliant last night. Because obviously I phoned Simon in because Glyn still had me blocked on his channel, and I weren't going in the chat anyway. But I rung the Rev. We had a chat through there, and I was quite surprised that Rev turned around and said, "Next time he does one of these party things, I'm invited."
There you go.
There you go,
If I
yeah.
did hear him say
There's
something in the background, I think he said it to Dan. That's what's Roger doing tomorrow. Whether he expected me to jump in the motor and drive down today, I don't know. But
Yeah, well, he's organising that. Yeah, the Rev is organising that big weekend.
Well, that's where Dan is
That's
now.
this weekend.
He's down there.
Oh, right.
It's this weekend.
It's this weekend. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, actually. I am looking forward to that. That'll be good crack.
Yeah, tonight they're going to fire up, and probably tomorrow night as well.
Because, I mean, look, you know, and I do admire what the Rev is doing. I do admire what the Rev is doing, because at the moment there are too many fractions of the same viewpoint all out around the place. And there needs to be a consensus.
Yes, Lisa, well, she is going. No, it's some of the ones that Simon's got on there tonight. I do know. They're people I know. I've followed. We chatted before, you know.
Yeah.
But the Rev, he's such a funny and such a quick guy with it, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, yes, Rev has me in tears. He did last night. We was just having a quiet chill out on Budge's last night. Just a Thursday night chill, because it's Budge's turn to do the live, and then he said, "Oh, Rev's in the background. I'll pop him up." And then because Rev just said, "I'm doing a test run. I'm in new gear, and you're the first."
Yeah. He's just bought the Road 2. He's just bought the Road 2.
We was like, yeah, fair enough. Oh God, what a laugh we had, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, the Rev will liven up any stream.
Yeah. Lisa, we even got Dave the Plant come on the chat last night.
Yeah.
He's given up the drink, so I don't trust him.
Dave.
No, we had one. As you know, I'm always a big participant in perhaps lives and in his channel and generally in the chat and comments and that. And we had one night there where literally the panel for the first 20 minutes or so was me, Rev, and Pat. And I'll tell you what, it was one of the funniest 20th minutes I've ever had on YouTube.
I'd say so. Yeah.
I remember that night Rev come up on mine. He popped up on mine.
Yeah. He's such a nice guy.
Honestly, I was laughing that hard. I was crying. I had to take my glasses off and wipe my eyes with tissue.
Yeah. No, he's a good lad.
I couldn't even speak because I was laughing so bloody hard.
Yeah, he's that sort of guy.
Honestly, I had tears streaming down my face. I was laughing that hard.
So I miss a lot of the fun, because I mean, during the week I'm religious. I go to bed at 10 o'clock every bloody night. At 10 o'clock every night, which is 7 o'clock in the UK. So when all the fun is starting, I'm already snoring.
Yeah. Well, look, this is why, like I said to Glenn just now, I won't be on every night on his streams and Budge's streams, because I've got this sleep problem, and what I'm trying to do is get myself into a regular pattern, because my sleep patterns are horrendous. If I go to bed, it doesn't matter what time of day, I will probably sleep for maybe 2 hours, and then I'm awake for the next 24.
Yeah.
I mean, I was awake all yesterday. I didn't have my afternoon nap as usual. I won't be having a nap this afternoon, obviously, because I'm on here. And now I've got Rev's live stream to go on tonight as well. But that will mean probably tomorrow during the day, I'll be wiped out. Yeah. But then what I do then is I try and force myself to sleep for some hours, because I know we got Pat's live coming up on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Again, I miss Pat's because I'm already asleep. Because he goes on quite late. You can
get up early in the morning over there and see it, because we're quite often on there till 3-4 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, well, actually, I actually do go and watch it back. I don't watch. I've got it in my car, so I just link it in my car, and then I'm driving down to Abu Dhabi. It's a 2-hour drive. I'm listening to you boys as I go along. Because if you got to listen to radio in the Middle East, you may as well give up on life. You may as well stop breathing. It is the most boring bullshit channel. There's not one of them is any good. So I save all of my good stuff for in the car, connect up, Bluetooth, bang, away I go. You know.
Oh, he just fell over.
He's back.
He's back. Oh,
Hey, my man.
oh.
I was just saying, I play your live stream because I'm in bed when you guys, because I'm in Dubai, so I'm long in bed before you start. And I was saying I play all of your stuff on the way down. If I'm driving down to Abu Dhabi, I've got a 2-hour drive. And bang, I put it on. I listen to it. I can't see it, you know what I mean? But it's good crack. You know?
So you listen to 2 hours worth. It's only like 10% of my live stream.
No, I know it is, mate. I know. But then remember, I've got to come back.
I think we were up to nearly 10 hours on one of them, wasn't it? 9.5 hours or something.
Oh,
We were indeed.
I remember one Sunday
You could
night.
see us all
popping
sat at the tables like.
I remember one night popping on Paps Live, and I thought I'd pop on for an hour or so. Blah 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 blah. Next thing I looked at the computer, see what the time was, and it was like 20 to 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling tired.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mad one. That one.
That's got to be done. It's got to be done. It's got to be enjoyed. You know what I mean?
The way I see it is, if you're enjoying yourself and you're not paying attention to the time, it can just run away with you.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. It's like when I do my lives. You know, I'll come on at 8 o'clock in the evening, and we're chatting away, this and that. And I look at the clock, and it's like 20 past 12. And I think,
Well, the problem most people don't realise, I mean, most of our guys realise it from the pack community, but they don't understand how much doing a live stream like that does wipe you out when you've got the conditions that me and Dan have got. It can kill you for 2-3 days sometimes.
Yeah, the thing is, though, Roger, some people don't. They just look at that snapshot. They're not looking at the fact that you've perhaps had to force yourself through the wall in order to keep going. And then when you come off camera, that's when it hits you, and nobody gets to see that. So they see you on camera and go, "Oh, there's nothing fuck all wrong with them."
I want to
last night it went on to like 1:30. Well, not my stream. I was on Budges, and then I realised the time it's 1:30 in the morning nearly, and I was like, bloody hell. So I just said, I'm going to bed, knock yourself off, and as soon as you shut the live down, you sit in front of your laptop, and you just think,
especially with Pat, I can just talk for a minute, just especially with Pat as well. I mean, I was watching a live stream with him, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he came on, he went, fuck, my mental health isn't good, I've had a bad week, I've had that. And the boy rang in, I don't know who that guy was, he rang in and he spoke for the first 20 minutes of your live stream, and he was going, it's this, that. And I just suddenly hit me, and I went, men's mental health is not good. It's not good at this time. So just get yourself.
I've got to the stage now where Dan will actually notice that I'm flagging a bit and getting to the wall before I do, and he will ask if I'm all right. And I don't force myself to stay on anymore. When I hit that wall, I say me goodbyes, and I come out of it. Where I don't push myself through it anymore. You know,
it's not good. It's not good to keep pushing yourself through it. To be honest, I do occasionally still, and that's just that's all on me. Do you know what I mean? I'll be doing a stream, for example, and I'll be having a laugh, and I don't want to come off at that point. You know, and I just think to myself, well, I'm not doing nothing tomorrow. I can recover, and I shouldn't really do it because it doesn't do your health any good. But it's just one of them things.
But when it's the main part of your life, you've got to enjoy it while you can, haven't you? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dedicated to what you do, especially on the videos. Yeah. You know, the live stream's totally different. That's apart from what your normal videos are about. You know, it's your downtime. It's your fun time. It's time for you to relax. You know.
I look like I've got fucking jaundice. Fucking colour of it.
Just about to say, hang on a minute.
I'll tell you what. You did ask earlier on, Dan, what I was on about on the Revs stream last night on his when I phoned in. So I did hear him say that he'd like me to come down when he does the next one.
Yes.
And I think he said it to you that what's Roger doing tomorrow?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think I did tell him on Facebook, I think it was. It was too short a notice for me to arrange anything to get down there.
Yeah.
Because we got Heather going to the dentist today, so that's the car gone. And I haven't rested up enough, like yourself, to do that distance, you know. But Heather came up with a very, very good idea this morning. Now, if he does do another one and I'm still got the invitation and you're going, rather than you going all the way, literally all you've got to do is get to New Street.
Yeah.
It's a 20-minute hop from there to Sutton Coldfield Station, where we will pick you up and you can come down in the car with us.
Where is Rev? What part of the world is Rev in now?
Western Supermare.
Western Supermare, is it? Right. And where are you guys?
I'm Midlands, Sutton Coldfield, just the other side of Western from Birmingham. But the M5 is only 2-3 minutes down the road. And that goes all the way to Western. So
yeah, it does. Yeah.
it's about, hour from here to Bristol and probably 20 minutes to Western. So about an hour and a half. But the same with Holly.
Western Supermare once, and I'd stayed 15 minutes and turned around and went home again.
Same with Holly and Danny. I mean, they're going to the airport, and they've already paid for their parking, unfortunately. Because I said, well, look, we're only 20 minutes from the airport. We've got space for another car on the drive out the front. And me,
we'll only charge you 10 quid a week.
Yeah, we would quite happily run them down to the airport, pick them up when they come back. They haven't got to pay for parking. The car is far more secure here than it would be in their parking down there.
Yeah. Roger, have you seen her car? You could she might as well just pick it up and put it in her pocket when she gets on the plane.
I can put it on the top of my little one that stood out there. Because we got the estate, see, so that takes up the biggest portion. But,
sorry, by the way, sorry guys, sorry people in the chat who have said hello and I've not responded to yet. Hello, people.
Well, Danny Austin did say fine three fine gentlemen on the panel and Dan.
Mr. Austin, much respect.
Well, exceptional. Being exceptional has its downfalls, you know.
As I say to my wife all the time, I say, look, it's tough being amazing.
Yeah. Takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of work to be this good.
Yeah, it's a natural gift. It's a natural gift. I know I'm amazing, but I mean, I know it. You know.
Gosh, I'm getting hot here now. This is another thing I probably have blood, so I get the sweats all the time.
Well, I've just sorted my YouTube channel out, and so everybody's invited. Okay.
Yeah, no need to do it straight away.
I've done it now. I've just done it.
But it means bringing it back up again.
Look, I did a live last week. And sent it all to private. The only people who saw it was Roger. He was watching it. He was going, turn it off fucking private. Turn it off private. And I went, what?
I'm sat in there on my own, and I'm the only one. Like, you know,
only one. I've got one watcher. I'll just keep talking.
All right, guys. I'm gonna have to go. Sorry, Glyn. I'm gonna have to go because I'm being rude while everyone else is in the other room. I thought to jump in here and jump on very quickly just to say hello. I'm gonna.
For me, and I'll see them somewhere in the.
I will do. I'm gonna try and. We're not entirely sure. There was some talk about going to the pub first, and then it could
Not
be
too shabby an idea, so it might turn up as a live later on then.
could be 7. I think it's probably going to be around 7 or 8ish.
All right, mate.
But I'm going to try and if I'm on the panel, then I can stream it to mine as well. So I think it's probably going to be streamed on at least a couple of different channels tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm around tonight,
so
so if you want to stream it on mine, it's no problem whatsoever.
Well, if there is a way
We'll
of
en-
getting
we'll
on
enjoy-
a
we'll
panel
enjoy
there,
the-
I'll
we'll
have a
enjoy the
go
laugh.
anyway. So.
no worries. I don't. To be honest, I mean I've not used that function of StreamYard yet, so that streaming on multiple channels is a good idea if we get it working. So we'll see how that happens anyway. It might just be on Rev's channel. If it is, what I'll do is I'll put a link on my community page anyway to Rev's channel, so people that aren't sure can find it. So, but anyway,
well, I'll keep an eye out because as you know,
I actually want to have a chat with Rev on his technical kit because I told him to go and get the Rodecaster 2 Pro box, but I also told him to get the Yellow Pro, and which I've got up there as well. I still use my phone. I've got all the kit here, and I still use my phone. I've got 5 cameras, and I use my phone.
well, he's managed to hook up his Rodecaster with the Rodecaster 2, so he's able to use the 2 of them.
Yeah. He's got 8. But how many mics?
4, 5, 6.
That's the mess I work in.
That's what I mean, but at least you see you're twinning. You've got 2 cameras going. I've got 5 cameras sitting in boxes.
2. I've got 4 going, mate.
Oh bloody hell!
There's that. All right, guys. With that said, I'm gonna off ski and I will catch you all a bit later on.
Take care, buddy. Enjoy your point.
Look after yourself.
Right, will do. No worries. You too. Speak to you later.
Take care. God bless.
Take care, buddy.
Ta, guys. Ta.
And then there were 3.
The 3 amigos.
Yeah, well, look, it was a little break because it was getting a little bit mellow about talking about the idiots on the channel, and it's good to see someone who's coming on and he's a good lad, and he just sits and chats and talks. And how are you? What are you doing now? I'm going down the pub. Fuck it.
If you know, Murph, I've always my Friday streams. I don't do them every week, not because of StreamYard or anything. It's just I don't want to put too much out because I tend to concentrate more on my videos rather than my streams.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
That's a bigger part. That was the idea behind the channel, always has been. But I always try and run a chilled out one. I mean, I've even blocked some of my regulars in the past just because they've been being a dick in the chat. I'm like, the only reason I'm letting it in today is because I promised Glyn last night that if you come on, we'll have a little bit of a chat about it. We'll clear the air. We'll get the level playing field back, and then we know where we're all heading.
And thank you, Roger, for that. And I appreciate you for that. And I respect
Not
you
a problem,
for that.
mate. Not a problem. You know the sort of person I'm at.
I believe that this little chat we've had this afternoon has cleared the air. It's cleared the air.
But you've come over the last few months to realise the sort of bloke I am, and that's the reason I dropped out, is because I don't want to cause anybody grief. I mean, everybody has been having a go at me. There's been innuendos flying around everywhere, and I don't mind. That goes over my head. Fuck it, I just take no notice. But now you're realising what had happened. I just wanted to clear the air, get us back to level where we can all enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, same here. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted was to come and do a live stream and think, what friction am I going to get tonight?
Yeah. Well, you can.
Basically not trying to enjoy a live stream, but sitting there thinking, what friction am I going to get tonight?
Well, listen. Whenever you're doing a live stream, there is now this new antagonistic. They want you to spark. They want you to get angry, do this, do that, and then they're recording it, and then they'll throw it back at you. Yeah. So no matter how much shite you get thrown at you, You do not turn around and respond. You just go, oh yeah, okay, no problem. I don't have any moderators yet.
That's the problem I had. I responded to it, and then I
No, I'm not interested. Not interested. Look, listen to me. Why suddenly, when you've gone throughout your whole life where you've accepted that some people like you and some people don't like you, it's the way of the world.
Oh yeah,
it's the way of the world. But suddenly you're on YouTube and you want everyone to like you. What the fuck? Not a hope. Not a hope. I'll tell you what. If everyone liked me, I think, well, there's a problem here. You need to go and see a psychiatrist. You know.
Yeah. It's yeah, well, you know, Glenn's the same as Dan. He has got people that come in there with problems, and they do try and help each other.
That's
now,
no problem.
I know for a fact through personal contact that there is, I won't give their name, but there is someone in Glenn's channel who did try to help Nathan personally in an absolute big way.
Right.
And it's backfired on him.
Well, I mean, I'll give you an idea. Just watching Pap's live stream about 3 weeks ago, I put out a message on my Facebook about men's mental health and about how men above 50 or above 40 are having real problems now as accepting what's happening in their world now. We're having a new world order being forced on us. Yeah. And the British Army has been demoralised. You know, I mean, you know, if you look at Trevor Coult MC, he's got more subscribers on his channel than the British Army has got in its. The American Chief of Forces turned around and said Britain is not capable of fighting a battle anymore.
Yep, they haven't got the resources, they haven't got the men, and they certainly haven't got the money. Why? Because they've spent it all on another one. You know,
well, try and book a hotel room in the UK. See how far you get.
I'll tell you what, that Beresford Hotel in Newquay is bloody lucky that I still didn't live down there when all that was going on.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have stood for any of that shit that they put in there. I'll tell you.
And I mean, it doesn't help when Biden flies in to do the peace accord in Northern Ireland and the DUP turn around and go, no, we're not interested. We're not interested. We're not fucking interested.
Yeah,
so he says, fuck off. And then he fucks off down to Dublin, 1 day in Northern Ireland and then 3 days down in Ireland with all his family and doing all of this. And then he has to suddenly turn around and go, well, actually, we came from Wolverhampton.
And the fact that he went over there to talk about the North.
Yeah,
and Good Friday.
It's been 3 days in Southern Ireland, you know.
Nothing to do with Southern Ireland.
Yeah.
I mean, where I used to go on holiday over there as a kid, it was Sligo. It's right over on the west coast. It's just down the road from Bundoran.
I've got good friends in Sligo. I've got good friends in Sligo.
My mother was born
in case anyone's noticed, I'm Irish. I actually didn't come to the UK till I was 11. I am an immigrant.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a racial minority. I want reparations.
I used to ask my uncle what all the bangs were going off in the distance.
Yeah.
And he said, when you hear them, you don't go near the beach. Because that's what shouldn't be there doing target practice. He said, so if you hear the bangs, don't go anywhere near the beach.
Yeah.
But yes, I knew some people that were involved in that. The family wasn't, but there were people that were mutual friends that were involved in it. We never got involved in it. But I never had a problem with them in the pub, and they never had a problem whatsoever with me and the family over there being English.
No, they didn't. No, they don't. No, about it. It's not about who you are. They got a problem with the flag that like behind Glenn. That's for what's happened in the past. It's not about what you are. You know, you're not responsible for the sins.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. Yeah. I mean this one. I even amaze people with it today. They don't believe it. But you go back to 70s, 80s. There was a lot of rock bands putting stuff out. And all they were jazzed up rebel songs.
Yeah.
And they didn't
Well, look at
realise
U2.
that they were
Look
rebel
at
songs.
U2 when they put that song
What?
out.
Sunday, bloody
Sunday,
Sunday.
Bloody
Yeah.
Sunday. And Under a
The
Blood
other
Red Sky.
one, Phil Lynott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was another one. I mean, I actually had a 7-inch single that if I'd have got caught with it, I could have been arrested.
Yeah.
And that was Men Behind the Wire by the Wolf Tones.
That's right.
Yep.
But also, I mean, if you look at the rugby, Fields of Athenry,
Yep.
the Fields of Athenry. Well, that's now been banned.
Yep. The Black Velvet Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I know all of that. I was brought up on that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, no, I was born and bred in Irish. I carry an Irish passport. But I mean, it's a case that I joined the British Army. I came over at 11. I was in the army at 16. Well, I joined the parachute, 144 Paragon at 11.
I just want to say, afternoon, Steve. Yes, you're right. That was the one I'm thinking of, mate. You know what my memory's like, whiskey in the jar. That was about the IRA going down, collecting money, and Farrell marching across the hills down the military road and shit like that. See, I know the history over there.
I mean, we're the weirdest fucked up family in the world. I mean, my grandfather was chief superintendent of the Irish police force, so he was the head boy over there, while my uncle was the head of British forces in Northern Ireland.
I mean, a lot of my mates done tours over there. One of my bikers, mate. Him and one of the other lads actually got put in Colchester for a little while. They were just pissing about. They wanted to get home, so they took a dumper truck out. They were 22nd engineers from Tidworth.
Yeah.
And they ripped all the rocket mesh off the side of the Surrey can with this dumper. They just drove it alongside it.
Oh, I know the RCT boys who were turning around, the Royal Corps of Transport boys were turning around. They had a major sale on Land Rover parts at the time going back to the UK.
Yeah. I mean, they did leave in the end. They got thrown out.
I had a quiet life in the army. I was just 2nd Queen's Infantry.
No, I joined Royal Engineers and then I was 9 Airborne. So in 9 Airborne Squadron. So it was a case of we were hooligans and we got attached to 5 Pathfinder and that was it. We were away.
Oh, I had a quiet life. I joined the Queen's Infantry, Queen's Regiment when I was 18. I left when I think it was 24, 25 when I left.
Well, at least you weren't a budgie killer.
Yep. Yeah, I had a quiet life in the infantry. I enjoyed it. It was good. It's good fun.
So I
loved it. I loved it.
Oh, I loved it. I did. Yeah, I only left because I injured my knee quite badly, and obviously I couldn't. My fitness wasn't there.
Well, I tried twice to get in when I left school, and they wouldn't accept me on medical grounds because I had a hole in my heart and a shadow on my lung. But I did try twice, and when I realised I couldn't get in, that was when I started thinking, right, let's look for the same sort of training. You know, the sort of stuff I'm on about, Murph, because we chatted before. And I actually went and paid for that type of training myself, not just in the country, abroad as well. And that's why I'm so clued up on a lot of that stuff, you know.
Yeah. Well, like I say, when we were talking earlier, when we said I had my first drink at 10 years of age, going on there, I never drank again until I was 14. And it was literally, I trained. I went to school every day and we had a big grass training pitch and I used to go and run around that for 2 hours after work every day, after school every day, bang, go home. And I lived an hour and a half from school. So I get home about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Then back, I'd be up again, do another 2 hours. So for 4 years, I just trained and trained and trained and trained and trained. And then at 16, I was able to join.
Yeah,
my parents turned around and went, you know, you train so hard, and you got into the airborne. I went, yeah. They said, why did you leave all your medals behind? Well, what medals? They went, You were in every race at school. You entered every athletics competition at school. You won every rugby club. You've got Victor Ladorum. You won every bloody thing going. I said it wasn't what I was about. I said that those are running medals. I said I was interested in the army. You know, bang.
Yeah, Danny Austin. Yeah, I think they should implement national service again. Keep a lot of the freaking shit off the streets, basically.
It does teach people discipline.
And give them a bloody good start in life. Yeah, 2 years national service. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. I mean, I used to go up to Tidworth quite regular because I used to go up and see the lads up there because most of the bike club I was in originated from the army there.
Yeah.
That's why it was called the 1WDMCC. It was the first War Department motorcycle club.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was accepted in the NAFI, although it was all behind the security gates. You know what Tidworth's like. The manageress of the NAFI accepted me. They all knew I was a civvy. And one morning, I used to sleep in the block and everything in there. And one morning, they actually stuffed the uniform out on me and put me out on the parade ground with them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just sort of crack. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, nobody noticed a thing. He said, you done everything right. He said, you didn't miss a step. You didn't make a dick of yourself and stand out. So you did get caught. I said, yeah, but I'm never going to do it again. But I said, because it's going to get you boys more shit than it's going to get me if I get caught. You know? But I actually stood in for one of my mates for about, I think it was about 3/4 of an hour in the morning. And that was quite amusing. I know I had to shave my fucking beard off to do it.
Yeah, you would have done. Yeah, no beards allowed. You're not in the fucking Navy now, boy. You're not in the Navy now. You know?
Yeah, I mean, when I used to ride up there on the bike, you know, the guards used to see me going in. They just opened the gate for me. They never used to challenge me or anything.
I mean,
he's still a good mate of mine now. That's I said it on Glenn's channel one night. We lost touch for a few years, and then Heather found him on Facebook, funny enough, and we got back in touch, and that's how she surprised me last year because he's up in Newcastle.
All right, he's a Newcastle boy.
We holiday in Cumbria, North Cumbria.
Yeah.
Behind me back, she had arranged for him and his missus to pop over on the bike and see me. Now, she hadn't told me this. So I'm just stood on the prom, it's still fishing. And I just said to the missus, I said, there's a couple of bikers just pulled in up there. And she said, oh, I've got to go to the toilet. So off she went. Well, what I didn't know, she went up there to meet them. They were stood behind a van chatting. And she came back, sat down, we were fishing as normal. And then about 10 minutes later, I saw two bikers walking down the grass behind me on the prom. And I just said to her, I said, oh, there's them two bikers. And I just turned around and said, hi, guys. And it was like, I got, what the fuck? And she'd arranged for them to come down and see me.
Fantastic.
And I got it on video. I did put a video out because I have the video camera running all the time when we're fishing, so I don't miss anything. But unfortunately, about 2 minutes before he turned up, I hadn't realised that my cordless mic the battery had gone. So we were sat there by the fishing rods on the prom, chatting away, you know, big man hug and everything like that, and you couldn't hear a fucking word. Hopefully because we've booked the bigger cottage this year. We've got the 2-bedroom one, and hopefully him and his missus are going to pop down for a day and a night. You know, we can go down on the beach, catch up, have a barbecue, and then hopefully either one of the weekends, Pap's going to pop up. We'll go and pick him up from the train station, and he'll probably stay if he's up to it for a couple of days, and I can take him.
Top notch. Yeah.
It is getting people away, getting away. I mean, I met Dan, Ollie.
It's a good thing to do. It's great when it's great when you. It's great.
It's obviously, Roger, with yourself. Well, obviously, you're not drinking anymore, and that's health reasons and everything else. But I mean, You know, one of the things I always say is it must be bloody boring if everyone's getting pissed all around you. I mean, it's
No. Literally, I've always admitted it. I occasionally use a bit of greenery,
no problem.
because it helps me relax my muscles.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm going to a party where I know everybody's drinking, I'll have a good one before I get there, and it puts me in that humour mode, the same level as they are. You know.
Yes. Yeah. No, I understand exactly where you're at. That's a very good solution.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got any at the moment because I run out. When was it? Middle of last week, and that's probably why my cramps have started again in my legs. You know, and that was the only reason I used to use it.
I turned around to my wife the other day and I said, my wife is Filipino, as you know, so we live in the Philippines. And I said to my wife the other day, I said, I've changed my mind. She said, what? I said, I'm not retiring to the Philippines. She said, what? Why? I said, I'm going to Thailand. I said, they've legalized it. They've legalized it. Fuck you. Wow. Good morning, world.
You look at what's happened in America. They're legalizing it in a lot of states. And the government in these states have realised there's a lot of money to be made out of it.
Yeah, and Canada.
Not only a lot of money to be made, but the crime rate has gone down. They don't need policemen. Yeah.
Yeah, Canada's exactly the same. All of Canada now, it's all legal.
Oh,
there she is. Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone.
How you doing?
You still got all your teeth? You're panning out while you're there. Do you want a coffee? I'll have another one of those. Please. Yeah. Yes, sir. Now the mayhem starts. Mrs. W's home. Ollie says hello. All right, and no worries. But yeah, it's yes. Thank you, wee one. If anybody wants to follow some of the stuff that's going on around the world, we won. If you go on Facebook, look up a page. I hope you don't mind me saying this, wee one. Kel HD. She does put a hell of a lot of interesting stuff up on there. And I mean interesting. And very, very eye-opening occasionally as well. Very eye-opening. I hope you don't mind me putting that out there, wee one. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't think you'd mind. You know, if it gets you more followers over there and it opens a few eyes to some of the stuff that we don't get to see, then I believe that's a good thing.
Well, I mean, look, you know, you're talking about the green, you're talking about that. I mean, I live in a country, an Arab country, where they've had to change the law. Because if you get caught for the first time with drugs, it used to be 20 years in prison, bang. Now they've changed the law, 1 year.
Yeah.
The reason being, the prisons are full of young kids, all on synthetic drugs, the meth. Not on natural, on the synthetic shit.
Yeah.
And the prisons are full of young kids, young men, and young women who are sitting around taking this synthetic drug, and they've got so many of them now on 20-year bloody sentences that they've had to start giving them now, like Ramadan, out, go. You've been given a king's pardon.
Well, one thing I did like that they changed over there, and you'll know more about it than me, Murph, was the fact that they're trying to do with this sex tourism, especially with the kids involved.
You're talking about the Philippines. I'm talking about Arab, UAE.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant in the Philippines. It's
right. In the Philippines, that's a completely different story. That is paedophile central.
Yes, but didn't they make some new laws or something trying to combat it and to try and get rid of the?
Look, you're never going to combat it, because I've seen a rise of it now over in Russia. I've seen a rise of it in the Baltic region. It's going to happen everywhere, but traditionally it's always been the Philippines. And the Philippines, the reason being, the families are so poor, and they have 5 or 6 or 7 kids because of the Catholic Church. So the Catholic Church says you cannot wear a condom.
Yeah.
Right. So they turn round and they so they have 6 or 7 kids. They can't afford to feed those 6 or 7 kids. Good evening, Mrs. W.
Couldn't see.
Good afternoon, my dear.
How are you? How are you? You're looking mighty fine today. You're looking mighty fine. Looking gorgeous.
Thank you, my dear. But thanks for that comment I heard as I walked in. My head is now going, every sperm is sacred.
That's it. That's it. We love a good sing song. Shaking is making.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, Roger.
But no, on the Philippines, because of the poverty within the country, and the Catholic Church saying you can't wear condoms, this family end up with 6 or 7 kids, and the predators have moved in, and the predators see this. And I mean, there are actually cases in the Philippines where they've been prosecuted for selling their daughter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this shit on the dark web. If you know anything about the dark web, there's a lot of this shit on the dark web.
Yeah.
This is where all these paedophiles are, and it's absolutely fucking disgusting. It really is disgusting. You know.
Right, I'm going to drop off because it's
Okay, mate.
nearly 4 o'clock. I've got to get dinner ready. Obviously, check my
Yeah, you
mum's
got
all
mum
right.
to do as well, ain't you? So.
Yeah, I got that.
All right, mate. All right.
Glenn, before you go, I really appreciate you coming in and getting this sorted, mate. It's a big weight. It's not a great weight, but it's a big weight off of the way things were going.
Yeah, and I think everybody else could feel that as well. And I feel the same too.
And I will give you one last bit of advice. Keep your channel heading in the way you're trying to do it now, mate. You'll find it to be a lot better, a lot more peaceful. And if you want a private stream with maybe 15, 20 guys on, what I would do is do a private one where the only people that can get in are the ones you send out a link to.
Yeah. That's what I'm planning on now. I'm definitely planning on that now. My eyes.
I mean, I can give people advice, but you can never make people take it. It's up to them whether they listen and take it.
Yeah. My eyes have been opened. It's taken a few months.
Yeah.
Few weeks,
well,
few months,
you know where I am. You know where the number is.
Yeah.
You know the email. If you need any advice on there, and I think Dan will give you the same, on technical shit and stuff like that I don't know about. And you're more than welcome to get in touch that way as well.
Yeah.
Just remember something. When you used to go to the bar, you stand at the bar and there's an arsehole talking to you at the bar, and you go, oh, fuck this, I'm going to move around to the other side of the bar.
Yeah.
Right? We've lost that ability.
Yeah.
We've lost that ability to move around to the other side of the bar. Doesn't mean that you're going to stop drinking in the same pub. Just means that
you've lost that ability. Yeah. I know.
I was always the one that used to turn around to him and say, "Look, you're boring me now. Walk away while you can."
Yeah, I've had enough now.
Yeah.
Fuck, give it a rest. You know what I mean? Yeah. Roger, thanks for having me.
All right, Glenn. No worries, mate.
Good to see you, Glenn. Good to see you, Glenn. Take care, mate.
Everybody in the side chat, it's been
what was said or
it'd be lovely to see.
I don't delete any of my live streams, and if Bud wants to see and hear what went on, he's more than welcome to go back and watch through it once I've finished today.
Yeah, great. It'd be great to have the old people that run my live streams back on. It'd be fantastic because we always used to have a bloody good laugh, didn't we?
Well, you've got some very good people in there. It's just a few bad apples that snuck in.
Yeah,
and
that's what's happened. And no, I've now come to realise that. And I've had a lot of time to think about it. And now I've realised, and now I know what I've got to do.
Listen. Sometimes you want to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's it. And
instead of just being sharp,
yeah.
You see, I can pick up. Anyone comes in talking, and I can pick up straight away. This is a troll. Here we go. Here's the game, right? And I just encourage you to get better. Come on, you've got to be better than that. That is pretty much crap, you know what I mean?
Well,
And-
Glyn's made a big step between last night over the last couple of days, and it is a big step to take with what you're doing. Admire you for that, and I appreciate you coming on. And as I said, clearing the air. We've got it back to a level playing field now.
Yeah, good. That's what we want, isn't it? Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to jump off, so I've got to get dinner ready.
All right, my man. All right, go. What are you having?
It's cup of tea time and chocolate biscuit time, so I've got to sort that out.
Oh, cup of tea and chocolate biscuit time.
Oh yeah, it's 4 o'clock.
Close your channel down now. Close your channel down now.
I'm going. I'll see you later. I'll see you later.
What is it? British flag behind. British flag behind. Yeah, we are Britain. We are this. What are you having? Cup of tea and chocolate biscuit.
Take care, buddy. Catch you all very soon. Take care.
I'll be your biggest troll. I'll be your biggest troll.
Oh, just troll me. I love it. I love it. See you later. Take care. Bye.
Take care, my man. Take care.
Yeah, I was planning to do this a while back, but I literally, no disrespect to Glyn, what happened, I wanted to happen because that was the only way he was going to realise. You know, no disrespect to the guy.
I'm still in the complete dark as what went on, but I mean,
Murph, you don't want to get involved, mate. Believe me.
No, I didn't. So I just came in as the anchor today because I knew you were taking the phone call. I knew you were taking the phone call, so I came in as the anchor. You know.
Yeah. That was my doctor. That was.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan is on the way home to Lost Souls. Safe trip, Dan. I'm sorry, Murph. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat and that. You know.
Don't worry. You do your thing, my man. It's your
show. If there is anybody else
out
there wants to drop in the panel, the link's at the top there. If you've not been on before and I don't recognise you, you will be vetted and asked to do something before I put you up.
Yes.
So get the
batteries charged.
Channel.
Get the batteries charged.
Well, Glyn, was it last night? He actually had, I think it was 4 or 5 tried to porn bomb him. It's, they're getting ridiculous. So, like yourself, I know that's not a recording when you pop up in the back room. So I don't do it with you.
Yeah.
Same with Dan, same with Glyn. But you've got these people that will screenshot, like you sitting there now, that they'd screenshot you like that and they'd put themselves in the back room with that screenshot.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. Or rob your things and they'll come up as paras in the Philippines, Yeah.
And then as soon as you click them in, you'll get a picture of a dick or something, Totally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, look, it's their fun, but I mean, this is what's happening with the youth of today. They've spent so long staring at their phones.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the chat of Michael Kestrip. Is vetted the same as neutered. It depends how far I vet you, mate.
Yeah. I mean, Isaac Newton at the end of the day just had an apple drop in his nuts.
Yeah. But and I will say, guys, anybody that's out there that looks for me on Facebook, if you send a friend's request or anything like that, please make yourself known if you're using a different name on there, because I do get a lot of idiots trying to friend me on there. And obviously, if I only know you by your YouTube name and you're using another name, there is every chance that you would get bye-bye.
There was a great one the other day, actually, on PayPal. Have you seen that one?
No, I don't use PayPal.
No, but have you seen the video on PayPal, the original PayPal? I think, I forgot what one. I'll send it to you. But it was the original founders of PayPal were Elon Musk, who owns Tesla, who owns Facebook, this other guy, who owns YouTube, this other guy, who owns that. All the original founders of PayPal own YouTube, own Facebook, it's not Gutenberg who owns Facebook.
Good afternoon, Sue. Welcome back. I know you've been away for a while, but welcome back.
Who is that?
Summertime Sue.
Oh, summertime. So no. One of my buddies. She's got cystic fibrosis, and she's been in hospital for the last 2 weeks. But I've just seen her posting today, so I just was wondering. The same. I've got to actually go and kick her ass.
Yes, Sue. She's a friend of mine on Facebook as well, and we've actually spoken on the phone. But she goes by a different name over there, which I won't put out. Yeah, she's a lovely woman. Lovely woman.
No,
And she does live quite local to me as well, apparently. Or reasonably local.
Reasonably local. Well, then we better make it interesting then, because she's come back.
No, unfortunately, she's been off air for a little while due to a bereavement.
All right. Well, commiserations, Sue.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks back, but it's nice to see her back in it. She's always been a big participant in.
Well, if I can put an Irish perspective on it, we have a thing called a wake.
Yeah.
And a wake is you celebrate the death of that person. You celebrate their life. You celebrate everything they did. You remember all the funny things they did, all the weird things they did, all the crazy things they did. But that's what a wake is. And in the UK, you don't have such a thing as a wake. What you do is you go into mourning, and that's not how the Irish we look at it. We look at it as a celebration of their life. Yeah.
I mean, my Uncle Pat that died a few years back, I mean, you know what it's like over there. You don't sit in the living room, you sit in the kitchen.
Sit in the kitchen with the body on the table. With the body on the table, yeah. And then you all sit around and you all get extremely drunk saying, do you remember when the time he did this now? Do you remember when he turned around and, Jesus, he didn't do he did, I remember. Yeah,
I mean, there was Pat laid there in an open coffin with the fans on him. There all us lot, there must have been about 20, 30 of us sat around in the kitchen. There was the old squeeze, you know, the accordion going.
Yeah. Playing the music. It's a party. It's a party. Yes. It's a party. Everyone getting slaughtered. Yeah. Everyone getting...
Yeah.
That's a wake.
And then the day before, obviously, the bottle of whiskey goes down to the graveyard. Everybody has a sip of the whiskey, digs the grave. Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you an idea. When I was burying my grandmother was in Clonmel, and England were playing Ireland in the rugby. And the priest was turning round, and he was halfway through the sermon, and he said, "We'll stop now. All the men are going to the pub to watch the Ireland-England game. When the Ireland-England game is finished, we will all come back, we will reconvene, and then we'll carry on with the thing." And so, literally, and himself included, he came to the pub, and we all were sitting there watching the rugby, drinking the Guinness. As soon as the game finished, he went, "Right, back to business, come on." Off we went.
Well, I flew over rather than driving because, as you know, you get your 3 days and you're planted over there. So I had to fly over from Bristol, got into Dublin because I didn't realise it was the same weekend as the bloody hurling final.
Oh,
it was absolutely grand. Now, I got to the O'Connell Street station and I had about a 2-3 hour wait for the train across to Sligo.
Yeah.
I sod it. I'll go and find a nice little pub somewhere and have a pint. So I walked in, and you know the typical one: the bar, the full length of the room.
Yeah.
Guys all stood at the bar. So I went out. I was I had a pint of Smithwick's because I didn't drink Guinness. For those that don't know, that's well, it's just a lighter type of ale, really.
Yeah, Smithwick's is like that, like a real ale. Yeah.
And I got chatting to the guy behind the bar. He said, he said in English, he said, "Are you here for the hurling?" I said, "No." I said, "Sadly, I'm here to go to my uncle's funeral." I said, "I'm just biding my time." He said, "Oh, where's that?" I said, "Sligo." And he said, he said, "What was his name? We might know the fella."
Yeah.
And I said, I said it was Patrick Melly. From Moharal, which is just outside Sligo.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, there's another pint put in front of me, and he's down the bar. Right, everybody, let's toast Pat Melly.
Yeah. It's celebration. It's a celebration. It's not. It's not. It's a celebration of the life. It's not a celebration. It's not a commiseration of the death. Everyone.
I was having that much fun in there. I nearly missed my frigging train.
Yeah, I went over. I went over to bury my father 5 years ago. No, not 5 years. 4 years ago. And I'm in Dublin. I'm driving down to Clonmel. So I've hired the car. I'm driving down to Clonmel. I come back to Dublin and drop off the car, and I'm done everything. And I run out of money, so I sent the wife a message saying, "Send me money to the exchange. I'll go to the exchange. I'll turn around." And when I went to the exchange, said, "Give us your passport. Give me your passport." Oh, went off. Then I get this phone call. "Are you in Dublin?" "Yeah." Now this is Mick, who's my ex-wife's brother. "We're tying up. We're going for a pint. I'll meet you at 7 a.m. in the morning." I went, "Well, I'm flying out at 2 o'clock. "Oh, I'll meet you at 7. No problem." I had to change the flight 3 times. 3 times. And we were on the piss for 3 days. With all the family, bringing all the family over, everyone of the family. Jesus, Murph's back. You know?
Well, we got lucky when I was a kid. We used to drive over. We used to go up to Holyhead from Oxford. People said, "Well, why'd you go all up there?" I said, "Well, we go to Holyhead, we sail across to Dunleary." I said, and that's basically a day's travelling. You're wiped out.
Pretty much, yeah. It's 24 hours. Full stop.
We've got relatives in Dublin that literally are only 2 minutes away from Dunleary. So go ahead. We'd stop there for a couple of days with them, then drive over to Moherall, just outside Sligo.
Yeah.
Spend the week or week and a half, or however long we were there for. And then we used to cut that a couple of days short so we could spend another couple of days with the relatives in Dublin before we sailed back.
Yeah.
It's Dean's Grange, just outside.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know.
Just on the outskirts of Dublin.
Yeah.
Where the big, what was the shop called? The big supermarket over there. It's Dunn's. Dunn's Stores. Dunn's
Stores, yeah. Dunnes. Dunn's Stores. Yeah. It's actually the same Michael brand, which is the same as Marks and Spencer's.
Yes. Yeah. I think they were all part of the same group, weren't they?
They're all part of the same family. They're all Jewish family. All part of the same family. Jewish family.
Yeah. I spent many a summer over there. And as far as I know, I haven't heard any reports that I'm still the only person that has ever ridden a mountain bike down the north side of Ben Bolden.
No, that's a pretty good. That's a good shout.
It's bloody dangerous, I tell you.
On my 15th birthday, I was sitting in the New Park Inn, and the New Park Inn is part of the juries group, and my uncle is Bobby Kerr, God bless him, was the president of the juries group. So I'm sitting in the New Park Inn. I've got Declan Clark sitting beside me here. I've got Niall Togan there. I've got all the rugby boys with me, and we're sitting there. And the next minute, this guy comes across to me and he goes, "You're not old enough to be drinking that Guinness." I went, "What?" He went, "You're not old enough to be drinking that." I said, I'm 18. He said, "It's the Guinness I'm on about." He says, "I'm the Murphy's rep." He said, "Come with me." He said, "Come with me." I said, "Where are we going?" He said, we're all going off to Galway. It's the Galway Racers next week. We're all going up on the Galway Racers. So come on, come with me. And for the next 4 days, we just travelled in his car, and every pub we went to, we were just drinking Murphy's and Murphy's and Murphy's and Murphy's and Murphy's. We got slaughtered. He dropped us back at the hotel after the Galway Racers. We did the Galway Racers. We did everything. And dropped back, and I walked in, and as I said, my grandfather was chief superintendent of the Garda Corner, the Irish Police Force. And he walked in, and he just looked, and he went, "Did you have a good time?" And I went, "Yes." He went, Did you not think of turning around and sending us a telegram or something to say where you'd been?" I said, "I was with the Murphys rep." He went, and next minute I got this clatter around the head. The reason being, in Ireland, at 16, you take what's called a pioneer pin. which means that you will never drink throughout the whole of your life. You'll never have one drink throughout the whole of your life. And so it's blue and white when you start, then it goes to silver, then it goes to gold, then it goes, you've got the Pioneer pin. And my grandfather wore the Pioneer pin all his life. So when I walked back after 3 days of being on the lash on with the Murphy rep, I got battered. I felt very sore.
Just going to answer Rob in the chat there. No, I don't have a fetish for nurses, Rob, literally because the hospital that I go for my regular treatment, I worked there for 10 years and most of them there still remember me. As they always inform me, they save the rusty needles up for when I come in.
Well, then I won't turn around and talk about Lewisham Hospital nurses accommodation then.
No, I used to get on great with them up there. I was one of these, I used to work hard, I did a good job, but I'd do it with a smile on my face. I had a laugh and a joke from all the time. In the smoking shelters, you'd see one that was a bit down, so, you cheer them up, give them a bit of a giggle.
Yeah.
And they always remember me for that. I mean, even the estate's manager, because we'd done all the grounds and that up there, I was there permanently. Even though we were contractors based on site, if he knows I've got an appointment, he will make a point of coming over and seeing me either before or after my appointment.
Yeah.
And I haven't worked there for what, 8-10 years?
Oh, I don't know.
But about 8-10 years, and they all still remember me.
Well, I've got nearly 40 or 50 nurses on my Facebook group, and I funnily enough, I was checking up on them today. And they're all holding grandchildren. Oh, for fuck's sake! That wasn't the nights we had, girl.
Right, for a minute, Murph, I'm going to leave you there on your own, unless anybody else wants to pop up. If you want to answer anything that you can in the chat to the guys there. I
can't see the chat. So you just tell me ask me a couple of questions.
The missus said she'll pop over because she knows most of them in there.
All right, okay. There we go.
I've got a 2-can bladder, and I've had 3 now. So,
okay. Yeah, well, you saw me. I disappeared a minute ago. Right, Mrs. M in the house. How are you, beautiful?
Chair.
How are you, beautiful? You good?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, you?
Yeah, me. I'm at the end of my week. It's 7:20 in the evening here now, so I'm just starting my weekend.
Yeah, so you're
3 hours in front of me.
3 hours. It's all right. I've been had a scrape and a polish.
Well, that makes a change. That's a pleasant change.
I ate like nobody's business. Went into town to pay a check-in, so that was a trek and a half from the car park because the bank is about the furthest.
Isn't it better to pay a check in rather than to write a check out?
Oh yes, definitely.
There you go. So it's been a good day.
Oh yeah, it was worth the effort.
Exactly. So suffer the pain, bitch. Suffer the pain. If you turn around to me and said, I have to go to the bank today and draw a check to pay out, and I ate like buggery because of it, I would have gone, oh, yeah, right. Oh, I'm so sorry, baby. Go relax.
No. I went. I did a load of 3 shops yesterday to get bits and pieces because you can't get them all from the same shop.
No.
So here, there, and everywhere yesterday, and I was.
Tesco's reduced the milk.
Tesco's for milk.
Tesco's for milk. They've reduced the price of milk at the moment while they make how much was it? 118 billion profit last year.
Well, I can't believe the price of milk now. You used to get 4 pints for £1. And it's
it's the carton for £1. Yeah, used to say £1. Tesco's used to advertise it for £1. I don't know what the price is now. What is it?
It depends, but I've paid as much as nearly £1.90.
What for a 4 pint carton?
Yeah.
I'm probably paying.
I think it is.
I'm probably paying the same here. because nothing is produced in sand.
No.
So we have to import everything.
There you go. Tiff's just paid £1.95 for 4 pints. So
Bloody hell!
it's
Bloody
getting
hell!
£3. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, and I mean, look, there is a moral mandate, and I do believe that there should be a moral mandate that the staples, the vegetables, the milk, and the bread should be subsidised.
Yeah.
If you want to buy chicken, if you want to buy meat, if you want to buy something else, no problem. You pay for that. But the 5 staple vegetables and milk and bread should be subsidised.
Well, I was well impressed with Tesco's when I went to get the veg last week, because I got a bag of potatoes, bag of carrots, bag of parsnips, and they were all 19p each.
There you go.
You know, you can't complain. And the lamb was nearly half price.
I know, yeah. Well, it's Easter, isn't it? It's Easter, so they have to. They always have to turn around and sell the lamb. You know, it's done. But I mean, the point being, you've got people turning around now who are counting this in that. Rather than give you a jab, what they're going to do is they're going to turn around and they're going to inject it into the animals before you eat it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So now we're coming to the point where we have to turn around and say, right, as a local person, I want to create a cooperative, and I want to invite farmers with a cup of coffee, sit over and say, right, I want 1 ton of carrots off you every week. What we're going to do, we're going to pay you. We're going to put farmers under contract. So if you put farmers under contract, you say, right, I want you to grow me. I want 1 ton of carrots. They can be as wonky as they want. I'm going to shout at you, and I'll pay you the exact same price that you get from that we pay in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Phil. Welcome, buddy.
So we turn around and we issue farmers contracts. As soon as farmers have got contracts, they're not put under pressure from anyone else.
If I thought the farmers were getting fair prices,
they're not.
Compared to what we are paying, then I wouldn't feel so bad about it. But when they're getting 20p a pint and we've got to pay £1 a pint, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but if you can buy carrots for 19p, they've been chemically bleached, they've been turned around, and you've got to look at where they came from. Because
they were local. I've got some in the. I'll go and tell you where they were from if you like. I've got a packet in them because I bought 2, so I can make myself some carrot and coriander soup.
Yeah, you see, well, once upon a time they turned around and they said, "Oh, we'll show you who the farmer is."
Yeah.
So when I was living in the UK, I used to contact the farmer. I said, email the farmer. Oh, is this you? Is this you? No. They're just using my name.
Anyway, Murph, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
And yourself. You're looking gorgeous and you smell wonderful. About bloody time.
You're a darling. And yeah. Are you married, Murph?
Yes, I am. To a tiny Filipina who thinks that I am the greatest thing on earth, but it's her right to tell me how I do everything wrong.
Well, that's every woman's right. But she's got a good one. She's got a good one, Murph.
Which is why I want that rib back. I want the rib back. We're -1 rib. You've got 14 ribs. We've only got 13. I want my 14th rib back. End of women.
I'll let him get back in the chair.
No worries. God bless. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you.
Oh, yeah, you go back to that milk story. Yeah, there's one place in America now that they're going to be a bit short of milk for a little while by the sounds of it. After the old cow shed blew up, killing 18,000 cows, apparently.
I did see that. I haven't investigated it yet, but I mean, what was that, methane?
Well, it was a fire in some machinery, and they reckon that ignited the methane.
So lack of
I
meat.
mean, milk's going to go astronomical around that area, but the good side is there's plenty of pre-cooked meat for people.
Well, it's Barbie time, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, burgers on the hoof.
Yep. Definitely on the hoof.
Right, I will end this early today. I'll give it another 5-10 minutes. Literally because I want to have something to eat and get settled down a bit before the mayhem starts tonight on the Revs channel.
On whose?
On Revs, Simon Sideways.
Oh, Simon's. Yeah, Revs. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's case. I'm going to log into that tonight. You might see say hi. How's the road 2 going, motherfucker? Yeah.
Yes, John. Accidentally on purpose. It does seem a bit strange. As Cal puts up on her Facebook page, there's been an horrendous amount of chemical fires, chemical trains being derailed, gates buying all the agricultural land up, and I don't think it's all coincidence.
If you look at the 2 companies that we talk about, BlackRock and I've got their name. Oh, fuck. They're the richest companies in the world. President Biden, all of the previous Americans have BlackRock advisors on their thing.
Yeah.
The WEF turns round and has got 2 directives for you. Pedophilia, no problem. Pedophilia is a sickness and it should be understood.
Yeah.
So pedophilia, the messing with children, it's happened for ages. So why are you getting so perturbed about it now? Dispel that. Dispel that. Right? We've got
take care, buddy.
You don't need to have animals. What do you need to eat animals for?
Yeah.
So because they create this global warming, which is why they're buying all of us. You've got the soon-to-be crowned King of England, WEF. You've got Sunak, unelected Prime Minister, WEF. You've got the only one who's in WEF actually is our Home Secretary. Our racist Home Secretary. I like her.
I'll tell you what. If they'd unchained her when she got that position, we would have a lot of the problems solved with the immigration by now. But
don't you see what they're doing? Don't you see what they're doing? They put an Asian Prime Minister and an Asian Home Office to talk about racism in this country, talk about the boats coming in, because then no one can actually turn around and start shouting at them.
Well,
if I'd have turned around and stood up, oh, you're just a racist motherfucker. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, Morgan Freeman came up with a good one. I saw it posted on Facebook, actually. He was asked, how do you stop racism? And he said, it's simple. You stop talking about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no, I've listened to...
right, John. Take care, buddy.
This is the Nick Ferrari this morning, and this Asian guy came on. He went, look, I want you to understand what racism is. He says the Pakistanis are racist against the Indians. The Indians are racist against their caste. So if you're too dark, you're lower caste in the thing. There's always been racism. And then we have the East Africans. He said, and we fucking hate the East Africans. We fucking hate them. He said, so if we're talking about the racism is against in every single culture in the world. Even within Islam, you've got Sunni and you've got what's it called? I live in a Muslim country. I should always remember. Yeah, I don't. But you've got Sunni and you've got racism is inherent in every single person going. Some of it's from fear. There was a thing in the 1980s called white flight, where the whites moved out of bad areas of London and moved into the country.
Yeah.
Right. Now, was that from racism? Would that be classed as racist? No, they looked in their local area and said, "I'm not bringing my fucking kids up here."
Yeah, it's like I mean, Budge went through it because he went to the Nuki protest. No, you know, they were being called by Antifa. They were being called racist. Literally, it was the families.
Oh no! We're now neo. We're now neo.
Yeah, but what they
we're
would
now
do,
neo far right.
What they couldn't understand is, no, they were protesting about these people in the hotel, but it was nothing to do with color or anything like that. It was the fact that the kids weren't safe while they were there. And it wouldn't have mattered whether they were white, brown, black, yellow, pink, whatever. If they were still doing the same stuff they were doing.
There are Sikh families. There are Sikh families whose children has been raped.
Yes.
There are Hindu families whose children have been raped and groomed.
Yes. Exactly.
This is not about colour. This is not about colour.
No, it's about perverts.
What I object to is that for an 85% Christian country, there is an over denomination of colour on the TV. Now, before anyone calls me a racist, I went to school with a pile of black boys, and they're all my mates. And they are telling me the same thing. They're saying, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
They're saying, "Why has there got to be a black person in every single advert when we're 5% of the fucking population?"
Yeah, I mean, many colours are against it, as you say. You know, it's that they can't understand it. It's just people are using this as an excuse. There is
always going to be a left-wing agenda. There's always going to be a left-wing agenda. But I mean, we you know, for having a middle of the road, which is that we should all live together. Our children should be safe. We should actually turn around and be able to live our lives peacefully amongst each other and do everything like that. And then you've got the left wing turning around and going, "Oh, you're far right." When mothers in Liverpool went and took their children, to protest and saying our children aren't safe.
Yep.
Right? And then with their far right, Liverpool is left wing. Liverpool is the biggest left wing fucking city in the UK. But they
Bristol.
And these fucking Latifahs were turning around, "Oh, you're far right." Well, no, we're not. And then you've got the Mayor of London turning around and saying that anyone who objects to his TFL cameras is a neo. Now, the last time the word neo was used in context was neo-Nazi.
On that point, with them cameras, as someone pointed out the other day, it's absolutely disgusting going around destroying them with expanding foam, but the cheapest two places to get it are Screwfix and Toolstation.
What's her name? Katie. Kate.
Yeah. Oh, Hopkins.
I love it a bit. This is so wrong. This is so wrong. You buy $6.99. So absolutely. This would probably be one of my videos. I would have probably done something like that.
Yeah. But right, guys, I'm going to call it because I am getting hungry. I haven't had any dinner today, so
no worries. I haven't seen any of the comments. Hopefully, I wasn't too obstreperous or anything like that.
No, you're fine, Murph. You're fine. I won't name you all in person, but everybody that's in the chat there, and if there's anybody that watches afterwards, thank you so much for your participation. You do know how much it means to me because I do tell you often enough in my videos. I'd like to thank Glyn for coming on.
I'd like to actually say I love coming on this stream because it's an easygoing stream. It's just nice and
that's
easy.
The way I try and keep it, mate. You know, we talk relevant subjects like we have done, but nobody gets uptight. Nobody moans about it. We've all got different opinions. You know, you don't have to agree with somebody to listen to them. You know,
What'd you say?
They've got a different opinion. Pop up on the panel and air your opinion. You know, we can talk about it. It's not a problem. I thought you might have popped up, Steve. A bit late now, mate. He's a nice bloke. We had him playing the guitar last time. on it.
That's right. He's a lovely fellow. He's a lovely fellow. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's collecting the kids, wasn't he? He was out collecting the kids because it's half term.
But thank you, everybody, for joining us this afternoon. Like I say, sorry it's being cut a little bit short, but normally I don't go on a long live on a Saturday night, a Friday night, but tonight it's going to be. So, Murph, thank you very much, mate, for dropping in.
No problem, my man. Look, you have a great time, and God bless to everyone.
And I will catch you all later. I know some of you will be dropping into the revs tonight, so
Yeah, I'll drop in. I'll drop
see you
in.
all there.
Okay, take care. God bless.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
I've got to remember how to turn this thing off now. There we go. Oh, click on the